So how well do you know Richard Pitino?
Got him his first job. He's gonna get mad at me for this. Got him his first job.
Yeah, talk about.
He's a freshman in Providence College. I got him a job with the legendary coach, Barrington, Rhode Island, St. Andrews, Mike Hart, who's still coaching. True legend of East Coast, Northeast high school basketball, Mike Hart. So we got to start off with a legend. So it was better for him than being a manager at Providence. His dad and I talked about it, so he was assistant coach as a freshman in college. That was my route, while you're in college, be a high school coach. So we're the guys where I'm part of their family, which I'm proud to say. So, but yeah, I know some stories I'm not telling on him. When he was a college kid.
Yeah.
Told his dad he had a horrible headache. His dad's calling doctors, and I'm looking at, I'm like, dude, just be honest and tell your dad you're hungover. You're hungover. Quit telling your dad thinks you got some weird disease. You're hungover. He's like, I can't tell him. I can't tell him. So that's it. I'm not diving him out anymore.
Just like what year did you first meet him? How long ago was this?
01.
01, okay. And so he would have been what, like 20?
No, younger than that.
Okay, wow.
You got to do the math, but
yeah,
probably senior high school that spring. One headed to Providence in the fall, I think, maybe.
Wow. So how would you kind of assess his progression as a coach?
Well, I think he worked his way up. He obviously worked for Coach Hart in high school, grinded it up. He would probably tell you the key to his career, just like myself. When your dad is a really good coach. In my case, his dad, obviously one of the best ever. To get out from under him, he would probably tell you the key to his career was going when we went to Billy Donovan in Florida, because you're able to see some things done differently. It just starts to open your mind to growing in different ideas and things like that. But then I just think it's guys that work their way up have a little bit of an advantage. Your first job's at FIU, tough job. He's grown as a coach. Obviously he's not gonna. Richard's gonna tell you. He knows it's an advantage who his dad is, but they don't give away wins. Got to earn them.
He's got a pretty good team this year, obviously.
Yeah.
They seem
a really good team last year.
Yeah.
This year, look, we're all still, figuring out who our team is. We're going to see. It's going to take a while to see who ends up with a really good team this year. But when you have, he had obviously lost Mashburn and House. And people bought away he had the freshman of the year in the Mountain West. People bought him away for crazy money. That's part of the game. He was able to replace him. I like his team. It's just going to take him a little time, like it's going to take us.
They got a bigger front line than Ryder, obviously, with the 6'10" guy.
Well, Ryder wasn't small, but they also won last night.
So, do you feel like, you've gone pretty small so far? Do you feel
that's just one lineup.
Right.
So, it just depends on who you're playing.
Right.
I would anticipate us needing to play bigger versus high major teams like New Mexico.
And how would you assess kind of William versus Adai in that?
Yeah, I don't look at it that way. I think obviously Adai is a much better offensive player. Will's a better shot blocker and rebounder. So I don't put them versus each other.
Okay.
They just bring different strengths to the table. But I think Adai's progressing. He had 3 blocks in the first game. Just trying to get him to focus on effort plays. Will had his first really good practice yesterday in a long time. Was dominant on the glass. We're not happy with our defensive backboard the other night. So we worked hard on it. Fortunately, nobody got hurt. Some of the drills we did. I think we did have one hyperextended elbow, so it wasn't too bad.
What do you feel like is the potential of some of those 2 big lineups with Tyler and Will or Tyler and Adai?
When you say potential, what do you mean?
Just like going up against some of those the Big Ten teams that play bigger.
Yeah, well, first of all, the Big Ten's the last thing on my mind, you know. And I don't really like care about our opponent as much as I care about us. We're going to play multiple lineups all year. It's not going to change. So whether it's who we're playing at the guard position or who we're playing on the front line. So, you know, it's going to be in game. You're going to see different lineups at times. Right now, Will and Adai are progressing players, but they're not better than Eric and Tyler. So I'm starting the best two players right now. Now, Will's pretty good, Adai's pretty good. So they're on their heels. You know, and obviously the thing with Eric Daly is he can play a lot of places. But then you're going to take Kobe out of the lineup. So it's a good problem to have. I view us right now as we have at least 8 starters. So I can pick and choose who I'm going to start, but during the game they're all going to play. So really that stuff's like the least of my worries. It's you know, it's last year I was trying to figure out who to play other than Dylan and Adem and Lazar at times. So now it's if you can have all those guys playing well, then you could, if you need to play big, to your point, versus, you know, it could be Friday, you know, because I think they rebound the ball really well. They got 2 fifth-year seniors on the front line, old guys. So to be able to play big and not drop off offensively is an advantage. To be able to play small, not drop off on the backboard is, you know, that's what you're looking for. To be able to make adjustments that you need to make and not have deficiencies when you do it.
Has Eric given you any tips on guarding Donovan Dent from his time playing with him at Centennial?
You mean free? I saw Donovan Dent enough myself. I'm the one that told Richard Pitino to sign him.
Uh-huh.
When Dylan had committed to us, and I told Richard, not that he needed me to tell him, his staff was on us, you know, this guy's going to be tremendous. We just, you know, we already have Dylan Andrews coming in the same class. So I saw Donnie play a million times, with whether it was AAU or the Centennial.
What does Dominic have to do to get more minutes right now?
Just keep getting better. That's all you can do is try to stack days. You know, it's not a matter of sometimes you can play better, but better you got to be better than. You know, you're on a team with a lot of good players.
How's he done with the learning curve of just kind of picking up assignments on both ends?
It's been a big adjustment for Don. You know, coming in late didn't help him. We're extremely accountable defensively, and that has been the biggest adjustment for him. But he's trying. Great kid, he's trying. But again, you know, you can really improve on this team. You got to be better than somebody.
Speaking of that competition, there was a play in the second half where Sky, I think, passes up an average 3, hits it to Trent for what would have been a pretty open 3, and then Trent kicks it to Sebastian for what turned out to be a wide open. For those guys competing for playing time but still showing some unselfishness, what does that say?
Well, that's what happens. You know, I've always wanted to have enough really good players on the perimeter that I could have a good passing team. Always like it's a coach's dream. And good players pass the ball to the open man. The other thing is, Dave, you know, that they don't do it late, because that's a big factor as well. It's like in football, you know, you got to be on time, right, with things. So as a quarterback, so potentially that is a big plus for this team. You know, it has been so far. I don't want to jinx us, but we've worked hard on it all summer. And but good guards, they tend to just make the right play. They know when to shoot, when to pass. So makes you hard to guard. It really makes you, because, you know, they have a thing in the NBA, they have a short window to get shots off into pros. And when you talk to pro coaches, friends of mine, that you can't miss the window, because they can close it down so fast in the pro game with size, right? And the shot clock closes it down to 24. You got it, your players, you get that one opportunity, you can't miss the window. You know, and that's what makes you a really good offensive team. You know, when a team makes a rotation to take something away, and you read it, and you hit the window, and that's when you get a great shot. So that's what makes teams hard to guard. It's not coaches with legal pads. So it's amazing how much better everything works when you got players that can hit the window, and you got guys can shoot it in. It's really, really amazing.
Jay Williams, the former Duke player broadcaster, tweeted that he'd like to see, referencing Bill Walton's passing, he'd like to see a Walton and Kareem statue out there next to Coach Wooden.
I have no concern what he said.
Okay.
I mean, now you want to tell me what a UCLA player said? I have many. Yeah. I was shocked when I got the job. I told you this, I don't know. When I got the job in spring of 19, that there was no, when I walked in here, there was nothing of Kareem, you know, or with Bill. So I'm all for all that. But I have no concern what he says.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Nothing against
The only
Jay.
reason I brought it up is because that's how it
Yeah,
came
yeah.
into my consciousness.
Yeah.
So, but like, you know, with Bill's passing, would it be nice to do something for Kareem while he's, you know, still?
100%.
Yeah.
There's just behind the scenes, there's a lot of push from their teammates, and I'm right with them on all that. What you find at state schools, it's unbelievably hard to get a wall painted, let alone a statue built. And I mean that. I've been at them my whole life, so it's hard. It's just really, really hard to get a wall painted. Took Alex 4 years to get this stanchion behind me. He was, remember, he was MacGyver in that old stanchion. He finally got the new one. But I'm right with all of our former players on that. And they're on it.
Well,
They're on it. All right, guys, see you in
Thank you.
Vegas.
Thank you.